right, so some breaking news out of the Philadelphia Eagles. Tim McManus reporting that defensive end Bryce Huff is going to undergo a wrist procedure. He should be back for the team by the end of the season. So I guess this is about a 4 to 6 week timeline injury on this procedure for Bryce Huff. We don't really have a lot of details out at this point. I'm just kind of getting this news to you out as soon as I am seeing it. But what are my thoughts on this? One, obviously, of course, we wish the best of health and a speedy recovery to Bryce Huff. I actually really liked what I was seeing from him the past couple of games. Obviously, he had a pretty slow start to the season, and he hasn't exactly been the premier edge rusher that the team paid him to be. Maybe it's because he's been dealing with this nagging wrist injury, and he decided now was the time to get it worked out. That's the hope of Eagles fans, right? That this guy comes back fully healthy and is the Bryce Huff that we saw in New York last season. Again, all the details not quite out yet, but what does this mean for the Eagles defensive line rotation? Obviously, getting and generating a consistent pass rush has kind of been the one weakness of this defense that's allowing the least amount of yards per game. We have Quinyon Mitchell, who's a top 3 corner in football already. Cooper DeJean, top 10. Fight me about it in the comment section. Zach Bond, he's been a top 3 linebacker this year. The Eagles clearly have some premier players on this defense, but the defensive line, specifically the edge rushers, have been a little hit or miss. Now, Josh Sweat has really come around in the last month and has been playing some really good football, okay? He has been great at applying pressure. Jalen Carter turning into a freak, generating through the middle. But on that other side, where Bryce Huff is, there's been a little bit of inconsistencies when it comes to generating a pass rush. There's no denying that. Brandon Graham, do the Eagles really move up BG's snaps at this point? I just don't see it. Obviously, on big downs, him and Sweat are the guys that I'd like to see out there at this point in time. But I do think that this means we could see a lot more Nolan Smith, a lot more rookie Jalix Hunt, and even one of my personal favorites, some more Thomas Booker. Thomas Booker's a guy that every time he's out there, I know it's in limited snaps, and this is probably the main reason for it, but this guy just brings the freaking energy, man. Thomas Booker, absolute stud. Jalix Hunt, the rookie. I'm very interested to see what we could see from him. So far on the season, Jalix Hunt, 3 tackles. He has the 1 sack, 2 forced fumbles actually from Jalix Hunt. So, the team spent a first-round draft pick on this guy this past year. Excuse me, not first-round pick, but a draft pick in last year's draft, a third-round draft pick. Excuse me, I don't know why I said first there. Obviously, that's the boy, Quinyon Mitchell. Thomas Booker, as he's been out there, a half a sack, 6 tackles. I would expect to see a lot more Thomas Booker, a lot more Jalix Hunt on your screen. Nolan Smith has kind of come into his own. I don't know if they want to switch the side of the field he plays on. He's been decent in run stopping. The speed that Nolan Smith has, maybe we see him get some runway there, but my main guess would be that we see more Jalix Hunt and Thomas Booker, maybe a Jomo. But again, he's more of an interior lineman. Do they try and maybe put Milton Williams on the outside? Jalen Carter's kind of a freak. You could always line it up as Sweat, Milton, Davis. Jalen Carter is now the edge guy. There's a lot to work with. The Eagles pride themselves on having good depth on the defensive line, but keep an eye out for the names Thomas Booker and Jalix Hunt if you are looking for potential Bryce Huff snap replacements. Hope you get well soon, Bryce. If you love the Philadelphia Eagles, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.